Hello, this is Eric of NotBios, and today I bring you the Comica BoomX-D Pro. This particular one is the D2, which means I have two mics and one receiver. Of course, the D1 versus D2 just means how many mics you want. So here's the box itself. It will toss that aside, and the version I have here is the black. So you can get this basically in white or black, and this particular one I review in black, and I paid for this myself. And the white one was provided for me, and I was so interested in the Pro version after trying the non-Pro because it was a lot of potential there. So what the Pro gives me, by the way, is basically the same sort of thing as the regular non-Pro, but I have a memory button. So I basically can record what I do audio-wise. So this basically is a recorder in itself, and it doesn't matter if my receiver's on. So that's pretty sweet. So check this device out. So we got all the basics here. We got a rectangular USB here. We have that orange button for the record. And of course we have our typical microphone, which is actually really quite good. And you see right here, that's for connecting our lav, so it locks in. You can use any lav with this device, mind you, but it has an included one. So the included lav right here, we can see it. And here's where it clips in. This particular version has two of these. And we have the little foamy on top. Let's see if we can take that off. I think we can take the foamy off. Of course we could. And of course the foamy will get rid of those plosives for you. I recommend leaving it on. It has our typical clip. It's quite stiff, mind you, because it's metal, not plastic. So quality bonus there. And we have our different cables. So this particular one is listed for, let's see, Canon, Nikon, etc. camera. If you can read that or not, let's see. And we also have our other cables, ones I didn't open yet. So let's open these up. So these all comes in bags. I actually used this for a while. And so this cable is for Sony and whatnot camera. We have a cable that's for smartphone. And here you'll be connecting to your smartphone connection directly if you have an aux jack. But what if you don't? What if you have an iPhone? You're going to take an adapter, same one you could buy for your iPhone, connect that in to Lightning, and you're basically done. The other side will be to the receiver end, and that's right down here, and we'll connect to the out port on this particular device. And then of course, this will be on you, and this will be connecting your iPhone. Now, if it's Android, same idea. I have a Type-C Android, so I have this adapter right here, and I connect there, and the Type-C for my particular phone right here, and I connect my phone right here. And I just choose external audio if I need to, because sometimes there'll be internal speakers until I choose external audio. I specifically, for my Android phone, I found an app works really well, the Shure Motive Video app. Our buttons here for a level. The one cool thing is, of course, you have a safe channel mode. You have your A, B mic level, so you can actually change them individually without having a safe channel. That one, like the Virtual Non-Pro, was basically you had full volume and a safe channel. I really didn't like that, but this one I can actually have safe channel individually, where I can lower the volume completely or raise it altogether completely. So that is perfect on the Pro version for that. It's just what I wanted, just what I hoped for. We got our headphone out so we can actually monitor audio, and we have our out as well. And our mode here that has also our power button. So then we can see it light up just as you see it right now. I'll turn that back off. And we have our belt clip. And that's nice, sturdy. And it has that little bit of a rubber softness, so it's not going to make a big loud popping noise on you by accident. Now, one thing I didn't show you yet is it has this USB cable to charge one USB Type A, to 3. So we can charge 3 devices. You'll notice there's one that's orange. This orange one is our data cable to connect to our PC. So I don't need a special adapter to connect this PC and record directly to PC for audio. And the one reason I like this thing beyond the simple fact of it being a wind muff is if you're wearing this and you have to go like this caps against you, it ruins your audio, and it's less likely to happen if you have a little fur muff on. So that's one thing I recommend. Let's get down to the connecting the camera and audio testing. What I want to do is connect the receiver, this is the microphone, to the PC via the orange cable. Right now I'm using a hub, so don't know if the quality will be the same to PC using a hub versus direct to PC. Just note that. Now I'm going to connect this down here. Okay, covers on, testing 1, 2, 3, covers on. Covers off, testing 1, 2, 3, covers off. So yeah, part 2 as well. If I breathe into the mic with the cover on, it's not going to be, of course, making that sound through the microphone that you'll probably hear normally without it. So it's actually a good idea, as long as it didn't change my sound, to leave this on. So right now I'm using a very stiff cable from Cable Creations. It's not a good choice for this. It's made for 5 amps and we don't need that kind of thing. We just need something that can transfer data and such. But this cable that's not overly stiff here seems to work just fine. And that's a bonus to have. It's one of those things that make you smile. Anyways, connected to Android, just using this from the receiver to the phone itself. And of course, since I have the mic right here, as you can hear, I can turn around and do whatever, and my volume and sound remains. So perfect. To Android, not a problem. If you turn the volume too high, one thing you'll notice is there's going to be a lot of hiss. So if you have the volume on the receiver turned down a bit, you're going to have better sound quality. Just keep that in mind. This is a test of the Comica Pro device connected to the iPhone Pro Max 12. How am I coming through? This is a test of the Comica Pro without the wired lav. How am I coming through? Just making sure it's connected. And, well, how is the silence? This is a test on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. How am I coming through? Of course, the one nice thing is be able to walk around anywhere and still get audio at the same recorded levels. And how is the clarity? So when it comes to this audio unit, we have many different options for audio. You can see right now we're in mono. That means we have both left and right speaker the same volume. Now if I press that power button, where you can see mode on this right now, you actually get a different mode. You'll change it from mono to, let's see, press it twice, so it lights it up, then we'll be in stereo, and then you'll see that safety channel as well. So right now, I'm actually one speaker louder than the other, +6 on the other. Now if I change that again, let's go to mono, and now it should be both speakers the same volume, left and right channel. And if I press it again, we are now playing through only one speaker when you have stereo. Now if I had both headsets on, both the microphones, you'd have one microphone on one side and another microphone on the other side. So the point of the safety channel is you can have a lower volume on the one side, or I can actually increase this. So if I press our little A button on the A side, which is actually louder already, but I'm gonna make it louder yet. Let's bring it up to +12, and you brought it back down. So now we have it at +12. So right now on the one speaker, I'm definitely noticeably louder, especially if you wear a headset. So if I use the safety channel and I'm pressing the button B, I'm changing the one volume versus the other by 6 decibels. That's pretty cool that actually does that. Now if I press the other button, I increase here. So if I press A, I'm actually increasing the volume on the one. Now let's get off the safety channel and go back to mono, where we had the same volume for both speaker types. So both left and right channel. And let's go back to stereo. And in stereo, I only have one channel of audio. If I turn on the other mic, we can actually get volume through both mics at the same time. Okay, right now we're in stereo. I'm going to turn on this other microphone, and you should be able to hear me once it's turned on. See, we test, 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 test. And of course, that means I can talk through this one, or I can talk through this one. Or I can change this to stereo. Right now, safety. Okay, let's see. Mono, stereo, testing. Oop. Let's see, mono. Right now we're in mono. So right now you can hear me through both these mics. If I talk through the one, or if I talk through the other. So this is if you want the same volume on both microphones. I find the stereo is a lot more dynamic for sound based on what microphone you're talking through. If I want to talk through this one or this one. So if you had a headset on, you'll be able to hear me through right or left channel. And you can hear I'm coming through different speakers if you have a left and right speaker. Mind you, not all the time is everything absolutely perfect per se. You can sometimes get EMI interference because, well, in my case, I have just insane amount of electronics. Wi-Fi strip, Wi-Fi strip, Wi-Fi Govee light bars behind my screen. My computer tower that's right below me here has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi all enabled. So I have a lot of interference here and I have a lot of electronics. So on occasion, I had some buzzing sound. So normally when recording, you might want mono. Stereo kind of makes it so you can actually have that safety channel you're making yourself, but there's also a safety channel setting. But again, mono is going to be for mono on each device, so you can have left and right channels. And right now I'm using this adapter cable, and guess what? It's working. In fact, it's behaving better than using that silly adapter. So this, originally I did a distance test and I had one of these two mics, and then I redid the test and the results were not the same whatsoever when turning around. So I have a mic on this side here that's playing through one speaker and a mic right here that's playing through another speaker channel. So you'll need headphones to know which mic is cutting out. They're both, of course, part of the same system. This is the D2 system, which allows two microphones. So let's start this test here, and then we'll continue on with the microphone that wasn't working so great for distance. Let's zoom in first, so we're nice and close, and let's do her. Right now we're at 15 feet. 4.5 meters. Let's do a turnaround and see if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? And can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? And let's go down to 25 feet, 7.5 meters. Generally 15 feet will be good enough for almost everyone, but we're going to do a turnaround anyways. And can you hear me? Can you still 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 hear me? Or what are the mics cutting out? We're going to keep on going further. We're going to go up to about 100 feet for this particular test and then continue on with 100 feet from the other microphone alone. So we're at 50 feet, 15 meters, and let's do a turnaround. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? So let's go past 50 feet. And we are now approaching 75 feet, 25 meters. Now let's do a turnaround. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you still hear me on both microphones? Can you still hear me? And let's keep on going. It's a bit cold on the fingers today. It's not very warm. You can see there's snow. I have an internal recording, so when I get further down where you can't hear me anymore, I'm going to play this. Still hear me? That's 275 feet now, 82.5 meters, and we're going to keep on going with this. We're now at 300 feet, 90 meters. The sun's no longer out, so it's not half bad right now. And we are approaching the next sign, which is 325 feet, 97.5 meters. We are now at 333 feet, or exactly 100 meters. And now if I keep on going, we're now at the next sign that the person walking outside kicked over, and that is 350 feet, 105 meters. And let's go all the way back to my out, because further than that, you won't be able to see me on camera anymore. So we are now at 375 feet, 112.5 meters. I don't know if you can hear me at all, but I'll do a turnaround here and then do the playback on the recorded device internally. So can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I kind of doubt it. I kind of doubt it. And you might be able to start to hear me again, crackly wise. And I'm gonna just keep on backing up for the fun of it till I can't see the camera anymore and my feet are getting soaked in the snow. But yeah, once I'm actually out of line of sight completely, I doubt you can hear a darn thing. I bet right now you can't hear me unless I use the internal recording. So what you're hearing now will be the internal recording unless I state otherwise on the screen. And right now I'm actually approaching the tree you can see to the right, which you possibly can see. I don't know if you can or not. Let's see if I can bump a branch or something. And if you can see that shake now, that's where I am, way down the hill. What I want to go to is something recorded outside so you can see what the difference is with one mic versus two mics. See how the camera works underwater, eh?
Yeah, we've got a pretty clear pond over there. Yes, you should.
It's not exactly waterproof, you know.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out.
Yeah, the mic quite a far away, distance away, so you're going to be coming in a lot quieter.
I'm coming
You
in
can always
a
clip
lot.
it, like I did.
I'm completely soaked, and I'm getting this thing wet too, you know.
No. You can take a little bit of water, just not overly much.
I think I'm going to steal this when you're not looking.
What do you do with a mic that doesn't even have the receiver end to
That's
it?
for me to know.
It's like trees are squealing out there.
It's windy.
Fuck it. Is it?
Yes, that's the wind. Because the trees are moving.
Some of these little trees you can walk right up to and push them in.
There's a little change room. So weird, I hear that weird squealing. I'm not sure if we can pick that up on
It's the trees
camera.
because they're moving back and forth. That's
moving against the 10.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah,
It's moving against the tin?
yeah. The one tree that's leaning over, it's just moving on it.
Ah, interesting. So I'm going to use this little hub connected here so you can see what's going on. So I connect this orange cable, right here, the orange one, that's the data one, to here. And of course, that'll also allow me to record on PC very easily. And then I just connect to my little hub. And of course, it's USB-A on the other side, so I have to figure out the right way around. And now it's charging, as you can see. And I gotta turn the power on. As soon as I turn the power on, a window popped up. And that window has our files. So the file itself, it says record. Let's see if we can zoom up on this and see the file. So we can see there's a file right here. It says record. And now I click on that file and I can see my WAV file. So if I want to, I guess I can listen right here. So we can now see it counting down. So here's my recording. And now I'm recording internally on the card. So I could play directly from the card itself built on. But what I want to do here is actually copy to my PC. And now I'm going to copy to my folder, which I actually made for making this particular recording. So I got to find that. And right here, Comica Pro. So I have a lot of videos I've made and been working on. Most of the videos are for my other channel because I have two channels. The main one you're seeing right now has mostly the microphones. And most of my other stuff is tech. So if I record 100 files, it'll be labeled 100 and 101 and so forth. It doesn't have to all be in the drive, it just simply counts the next file. So that's a good way of organizing. Say I recorded that 5 times back. Well, I'll just go 5 steps back. So what are my thoughts on this unit? Well, it works quite well. Sadly, the battery life is disappointing to me. I think it's actually lower than the non-pro version, which saddens me. I believe there could be about 30% more battery life, and that would actually improve things quite a bit. For someone that does a lot of recording like myself, I want as much battery life as possible. I did a distance test, and it was previously very comparable. It might have been switching the mic unit from one to the other because I have 2 different mic units, mind you, and the one might be better than the other. However, for day-to-day use, it worked really well. I did a lot of the videos with this particular Pro unit. If you look at my different videos on my other channel, which is not BIOS, Tech, and Hardware. Anyways, it works well. I'm quite happy with it other than the battery life and other than my experience here. And I did experience a charging issue, kind of weird thing. So I get down to about halfway and normally I'm thinking, okay, I still got probably another 2 hours left or whatever the case is on battery life. And all of a sudden it drops off very quickly. And my battery died without me knowing it. So some of my recordings I had to redo, and that was not a happy situation. So guys that made this here, that's one thing to fix, maybe a firmware update. It's a nice thing that they actually have a website so you can update the firmware. And it's not a fly-by-night company. I'm happy that they're working on their products. It's always good to see competition in the market. Thanks for watching, and have yourselves a most wonderful day.